done myself, right? Um, because it's really protecting gains. And so when when I attempted this dip here, this was not really a dip, uh, a favorable dip, just because the move was already going. Once the move is going, the flag, once we're breaking flag and it's moving already, again, that's Mikey says we want to see levels hold, right? We don't want to see this start fading that off again. And so I got in this dip, went for a ride because stops were hit, and I mean, it this is only one of my trades that I took today. But this was I think it was like 2.5% that I lost on this trade, but it's not relative to to my other trades, um, which I'm saying risk management, right? Risk management is big. Um, so yeah, I mean, this was just one that I wanted to review with you guys. And then if feel free, I mean, if you guys have any other things you guys are seeing or just noticing, I'll be looking at the study chat in case you guys want to give any feedback. And if we're not failing, we're not learning, right? We're not learning, we're not growing. So yeah. So thanks again, Salif, for setting this up. Um, Definitely looking forward to it for sure. All right, so I'm just gonna stop screen sharing and then someone
Hot
else.
Rod, can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, I hear you,
It's
man.
okay. It's JP. How's it going?
Good, good.
I think it was a good trade. Like what I'm doing with now is trying to, I guess, formulate how the market's moving and how they work with these small caps. As you know, like Spy was going up at the beginning, and then Apple was going up, and then everything just kind of crapped out after a while. So I'm trying to, I guess, fine tune my situational awareness as to where things are going before I dive too deep into doing the VPA 5 minute flags. So I didn't do too many trades today. I was mostly managing from Friday. I had a couple holdovers over the weekend, and they did okay actually today.
Got it, got it. Also, so you were swinging some over the weekend?
Yes, yeah, I did. I just thought like I do. I belong to like Stock B, which is like a swing trading site, and I've been watching Real Simple Ariel on his Twitch stream every day, and he's a swing trader too. So I'm kind of going in between two camps here, so I need to figure out exactly where I should go in this case. But I was swinging over the weekend. I took some Teslas on Friday and some Apple, and both did really well because I sold them at the top today actually, so I did well on that. Just after 10 a.m. and then I just walked away. I said, you know what, I'm not. I'm in green today, so I'm just gonna come back at Power Hour to see how that goes. And so I'm up for today, which is kind of a breaking of an old habit to sit here most of the day and try to make things happen. So I'm just trying to step away when I'm green.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I 100% agree with you on that one. I mean, we haven't really been seeing a lot of follow through in the afternoons. Power hour has been really pretty much dead. I mean, there are some days this month that we had some pretty good runs, but when you compare that to just all other opportunities that were there and there was no follow through, it's really no um now you know some
Uh,
asking not even worth it, but
yeah,
we still gotta still be present, still see the
correct,
market because
correct.
if we're not seeing how things are working out, we're essentially a bit blinded by it. So it's
Yeah,
it's
what
it's
what I've been doing because, like you said, sometimes there's an intraday bounces. I watch see if there's like a 15 minute low of day from Spy or something, and then maybe make a trade from there. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we
yeah,
hear
yeah,
you,
Okay.
I can
JP.
hear you.
Okay. I wasn't sure. My something popped up on my phone, so I wasn't sure. So that's
Okay.
kind of what I've been doing, and mostly in capital preservation mode now because I've kind of breaking old habits of losing money.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wanted to point something out on that LVTX trade that you took, Hot Rod.
Yeah, for sure.
So when I'm looking at this chart, I see why you got long. Like I'm not, don't take this as me knocking on your position or anything, because like we're all here to learn, right? We're all here to give each other the correct criticism and everything.
Mhm.
And so if I was looking at this chart, I kind of see this bear flag, that we had this big red move down. We kind of had a bear flag, and then we tried to break out of it. And I see why you thought, okay, hey, maybe this is the point to get long. But another thing that I noticed, so something that I like to do is I love looking at volume. When I'm looking at volume, if I see like if you just look left, every time that this stock popped up, let me take it to like a 3 minute. So every time that this stock pops up, you could see that sellers are so heavily like ready to sell. Like right here we popped up, seller stepped in. Right here we popped up, seller stepped in. Right here we tried to make a move, seller stepped in. I see why you had that thesis of, okay, like maybe shorts are about to get trapped in the afternoon. Maybe we're gonna make that squeeze move up to like 550s, even 580s possibly. I agree with your thesis. Stock had range. It did have the volume that came in, but I think on this candle right here, right on this red stuff candle, like looking at how high this volume is compared to the buying pressure, it kind of meets it. So whoever was like in down here and then caught this move up, they were out of this completely. And then you get that low volume consolidation, you try to make that move up. So I see why you took that position here, but like for a future reference, I think something you should do, and I'm sure you already do, is like you probably read volume a lot. But
Mhm.
like look at these things, like look left, and like something I like to do is I'll look left, like I said, and I'll look, okay, we came up here, seller smacked it down. We came up here, seller smacked it down. Now, just because we broke over this level, I want to see like a little more consolidation. Like even though we had a couple candles, this is like 10 minutes of consolidation probably, but right away seller stepped it down. If I seen this, I probably would have taken the position too, just because of like you had a solid thesis. All right, we broke over this resistance level. We're trying to hold over it, but it just didn't work out. So I think you were in a decent position that just didn't work out. And one question I want to ask you is, what did you exit at? Did you like hold through this whole knife, or did you break as soon as we started giving up this 490 area?
Let me see. So I sold off once it broke the 490s area,
Okay, yeah,
because
perfect.
that was a level that I had on here, because it was a previous resistance area. So I was seeing if this essentially would flip to support.
Yeah,
But when I noticed that it didn't, it just went through, and even when it completely flushed through 490s, the 490s, and then
yeah,
it came back up, and it was trying to break through it again. But when I noticed it was just struggling with when those walls were just kept getting refreshed, I was like, all right, so I just cut it.
yeah. I mean, I see your thesis. You started curling up. I agree with your position. I mean, if I seen this, like I said, I probably would have taken it. And I think you actually managed risk very well. You noticed that 490, was that bottom support level. It was, previous resistance probably earlier in the day. And, as soon as it broke it, you weren't one of those traders that just like, all right, we're going to come back over this. We're going to make new highs. No, you seen the break of support, you cut. So I think you managed risk very, very, very well. So good job
Yeah.
on that. And like I said, this position is probably something I would have played as well, but like just looking at it on the 3 minute, try to notice these little things, like, all right, every time we come up, sellers smack it down. We come up again, sellers smack it down. Like if you look at the chart overall, every red candle is way bigger than every green candle. And normally
Yeah.
when like a something that I learned from experience is when you have a sharp move higher like this, like a straight up move, like if this just grinded up slowly, like cool. Like here, let me screenshot it and kind of show you what I mean. So if this kind of like we'll do it in yellow. So if this kind of oh yellow's not good. So if this kind of just started grinding up, came down, grinded higher, came down and grinded higher, cool. But the fact that we had like such a sharp rise in price, like the saying is anything that's greater than 45 degrees is usually going to take the stairs up and the elevator down, and this is actually like a really great example of it.
Mm.
Now like I said, I think you had a good entry. You were risking off a good risk point. You managed risk very well, but it was just something that didn't work out. And hey, that's the name of the market. Another thing is like understanding market sentiment. So today, like market sentiment was absolutely garbage. Everything that came up came down.
Yeah.
Everything that came up again came down. So like notice these things in the morning on other names because usually when they happen on other names, they're gonna transfer over into more names. So like let's say we have ADTX, you know, whatever, it did this and then it did this. And that is what it did, you know, it was up and down all day. So if one name did that and then you have I don't know, let's say GovX was in play today and GovX did the same thing. So now on LVTX, I'm gonna go into this one with the mindset of okay, ADTX in the morning we came up we flushed, GovX in the morning we came up we flushed. So now LVTX I'm gonna be in that mindset of okay we're probably gonna come up and we're probably gonna flush. So what are you gonna do on this one? You're gonna try to get in as low as you can, and you're gonna exit on that first pop.
On the
And
pop, right?
clearly looking at the chart, like it's so easy to tell now. Obviously, it's way different when you know you're in the moment, in the zone, whatever. But clearly, whoever was in this trade noticed that earlier in the day, and they said, "Okay, this thing made its move up. All right, I'm out." Just like everything else in the name, like if we look at ADTX, came up, pushed down, came up, pushed down, came up, pushed down, came up, pushed down, came up again, pushed down harder.
Yeah.
Um,
There was really no follow through at all through the with any
exactly,
of the detectives, right?
exactly, yeah, and that's just like going forward. That's something you should notice. You should notice overall market sentiment. So like perfect example here, we came up, smackdown, came up, smackdown, came up, smackdown. Is there any other names that kind of did the same thing? Uh,
Yeah, we even had what was it? Uh, SPRO went for a nice initially. It opened up. We had a nice little 5 minute off of 208, and then it had that next extension, but it just after that pop, it just died down. And then the
yeah,
same thing happened this afternoon. It popped up, and then just Knife
same
City
thing. Yep.
on the
Come
back
up,
end.
pop down. Even right here, come up, pop down. Come up, pop down. Right here, pop down. Even right here, pop. I mean, this is a healthy pullback. You pulled back right into your 208 area, so that was your kind of your resistance point. So
Mhm.
you did kind of hold that as support, but I mean, once you came up to the highs, right away, smackdown. Then you
Yeah,
formed that
I
little
see
bear
that.
flag, smackdown. Came up again, smackdown. Came up again a little, and smackdown. So things like this they'll really help you like noticing okay we're not getting much follow through today, we're in a scalp market, everything's going to be get in and get the hell out. So
Yeah.
but like I said, I think you were in a good position, it just didn't work out, and I think you managed risk very 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 well. Like I said, most traders would have still been holding on to this, probably still holding on to it just because they've seen all these pops back up. They're like, oh, this is going to go in the after hours, this that, but I think you managed risk very, very well, and I think you played it well, and I think it just didn't work out.
Yeah, it's today's just not that day for those type of plays, but yeah, I mean, I really
Exactly.
appreciate it, Silly. Yeah, I appreciate that depth, and that's definitely good pointers there, and also other things to be aware of, especially as to what has happened already intraday and what's happening around through other tickers, small caps through intraday. Because yeah, I mean that's really going to point out,
Yeah.
really the future in
Yeah.
intraday. So
Yeah.
for
So
Normally,
sure.
small caps are gonna follow small caps, and large caps are gonna follow, SPY and whatever SPY doing. But like that's why my day ended so short. Like when I caught these two trades right here, the opening drive trade on ADTX, and I caught the 340 pivot, and then the 320 area pivot right over here on this pop. Like once I made those three trades, I was like, all right, I'm satisfied. I did play LVTX. I played a tiny piece right over here. It was like a 5 cent scalp, just because I didn't like my entry. I exited really quick. But like even on shit, what was the ticker? Was it not AXTD?
ADTX.
Oh, ADTX. I'm typing ATXD. But like even right here, like I noticed it, and I'm like, all right, like nothing's getting follow through. Even FFIE, like look at this, come up,
Yeah,
smack down, come up a
zero
little,
follow
smack
through.
down. Like, so when I seen that around 11 a.m., I'm like, all right, you know what? Wrapping it up at the desk, time to hit the gym, and that's exactly what I did. I came back to my computer at like 3 p.m. and I seen that like literally nothing was opening up. So I'm like, all right, cool. I didn't miss anything. I had a good day. Whatever. We'll come back tomorrow, and we'll get it done.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, JP.
Yes.
Did you have any trades? I mean, you could share your screen as well. Like,
I'm using a couple of different screens here, so I don't know how I'm gonna figure that out. But what I can, if you don't mind, just pulling up Apple. That's what I was in. I was
yeah,
saying I
cool,
was
cool.
from last week, from Friday.
So you were in somewhere over here, I assume.
Yeah, well, yeah, right around there. Yeah. So after that dip there.
Nice. And what'd you play on this one?
So so on the opening, I just watched from the opening, and looks like it had lots of volume coming in on 5 minute.
Yeah.
And then just what was going through my head with this one is, of course, it passed the pre-market high at 9:32 or something like that.
That would
Yeah,
be
9:30.
that would be today, correct? Not Friday.
Yeah, today.
Okay,
Correct,
cool. Let
today.
me zoom in on
Yeah,
today.
I just had one option on it. That's all.
Okay, nice. So you caught like a
And
little
then
bit.
I figured I let it go for a while, and then I remember something we talked about on the weekend. It doesn't strictly relate to large caps, but after about three or four flags, it tends to flame out, right? So I actually right near the top, that's when I sold my option, right? Actually, the at let's see, around 10:25, I sold today,
Oh,
right
nice.
near
So
the
you
top.
like caught the top. Really, really nice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because I just remember him saying what I was asking, like how many times, how many leg ups do we have? And there was already, I thought, well, there was definitely three that you can tell in there,
yeah,
possibly four. And I said, well, how much more is this gonna go? And I just said, you know what, I'm gonna take green as green and just take off for the day.
yeah, definitely. These are one of my favorite setups actually. Like even on the small caps, when you have pre-market high breaks and they hold, like this is so clear. Like look at this, man. You
Yeah,
clearly break over, you
I
hold
have a
it.
scan for that too from Trade Ideas, just breaking pre-market high, and I'm trying to refine that one a bit better, I guess. So a lot of stuff, too much stuff comes up on it, to be
Yeah,
honest.
definitely.
But
Yeah,
it's good to see what's breaking and how things are moving. And I was mentioning before that I'm looking for, I guess, confluence with SPY and if there's more buying or selling. So I also got another scan. It's kind of like a ticker tape in a way that says by the speed of it, you can tell if there's more buying or more selling.
yeah.
So that's what I was going to ask you. What you mentioned earlier about like when you're looking at small caps, you can see other small caps and what's happening to them. Would there be a relationship with the large caps as well? Like, could you look at Apple, for example, and say, well, it's not getting stuffed in the first 5 minutes? Does that give you confidence to enter other trades? Or do you
So
just say, you know what, it's large cap, it doesn't make a difference?
So for the large caps, I don't really play large caps, so I couldn't really give you a great answer on it. But from a small cap
Okay.
perspective, if there's like, so if we had LVTX and let's say put in a 5 minute flag right here and extend it into new highs, the reason why I
Mm-hmm.
say that's gonna help wake up the other small caps is because normally so it goes back to my point that I made that when one small cap doesn't give you follow through, and then another one doesn't give you follow through, most likely on the next one, whoever's in that one is gonna like take profits really, really quickly. So
Yeah.
if this one put in follow through, and then let's say ADTX put in follow through, then let's say GovX, set up a 5 minute flag, or we'll just go to FFIE since it's relevant. So then let's say FFIE put in a 5 minute flag and gave follow through, like that's gonna give majority of the small caps traders
Yeah.
confidence to hold on for the bigger move. Why? Because the overall like small cap world is giving follow through that day. Like
Right.
so I would imagine it would be like similar for Apple and like so like here we have Apple, nice opening drive play. Tesla, same thing, broke over pre-market highs. So I mean, just by going back and looking at these charts, you could see that they kind of moved in harmony. So Tesla right
Yeah.
here, pre-market high, broke over it, made the move. Apple right here,
I had
pre-market
Tesla as
high.
well from the weekend too.
Oh wow, nice. What'd you play on this one?
Uh, my play on that one was so I'm kind of oscillating between a swing trader versus a day trader. I haven't really found my niche yet, but
Yeah,
so I figure some people say if you're down 3 to 5 days in SPY, you're bound for a bounce. So I was looking for a bounce on that from Friday. So again, I sold that one at what was it 380? I think for Tesla anyway.
nice. Yeah, yeah.
280, 282, and then I think my last little kicker at 278 or something like that.
Nice. Yeah, you caught a really nice move. But
Yeah.
yeah, definitely, yeah. But like going back to my point, like for the large caps, like just looking at these charts right now, like I can assume that things move in harmony. You could see Tesla
Yeah.
kind of literally like not the exact same, but kind of the same chart as Tesla. What's
Yeah.
another large cap that follows SPY? Even Nvidia, you could see right here, not the cleanest, but we held our pre-market highs in this area. Try to get a line drawn. Held our pre-market high. Even though it was kind of whippy, it
Yeah.
did put in that follow through, and like even SPY did put in that follow through as well. Right here off the opening bell, we broke over initial high a day, which also lines up with pre-market high. We kind of held this area over here, then we made that move up. So yeah, I would say if majority of large caps are giving that follow through move that everyone's looking for, then I would imagine Apple, Tesla, the major ones that everyone else is going to be playing are going to get follow
Yeah.
through as well. Like we can see right here, SPY gave this big leg down. Now we go look at Tesla. Tesla did the same.
Yeah.
Tesla
Exactly.
did the
Yeah.
same. Nvidia did the same. So I would say yeah, if one
Yeah.
large
One of
cap is
my
winning, it would probably wake up the others.
Yeah, one of my weaknesses I've spotted is staying too long in the game and trading over trading. So I've tried to make it a point. I'm very trying to be disciplined and say, you know what, if you're green already, just leave, just go away.
Exactly.
Make any mistakes, don't give it back.
That's a problem everyone has, man. Like even myself,
Yeah,
like I'll be green on the day and then I'll see another setup and like even though I'll know like all right, yeah, this is not the
yeah,
greatest setup,
exactly.
I'll still take
Yeah,
it. So
that's
like
right.
that all falls into discipline in my opinion. Like you got to learn
Yeah,
that discipline now because when you do make it like I don't know what your account size is, but let's say it's like $20,000 whatever. Then let's say you're good with that 20, then you go to 100, but you have all these bad habits that you're carrying from that 20. That 100 is slowly going to wash away. So
absolutely. Yeah,
you got to build that discipline while you're still, I guess you could say small, and then
yeah, yeah,
get those
yeah. I
habits
agree.
transfer over.
Well, perfect. Well, I appreciate you going over that and setting this up too. It's great.
Yeah,
I'll
man.
I'll figure out my system here. I got a couple of different computers going on, so need to get it all on one.
Yeah, definitely, man. Whenever you're ready, we're always here. I don't know if there's anyone else that wants to go over trade. I see a lot of people are muted. Humi, T-Bone, Simplistic Trader.
I could go over my. I did a little different play, but I did a large caps. I did AMD short. I don't know if you can pull it up, Sali, because
Yeah, if you want, you can share your screen, or I can pull it up, whichever you prefer.
I'll send the screenshot. I'm not too sure how to share my screen yet, but
Okay. Yeah, you could send the screenshot. Are you gonna send it in random chat or study chat?
I'll send it in the study chat.
Okay, cool. I'll head over there right now.
But yeah, my play was since I got to the market a little late today, so I saw SPY was falling basically. So then I look at usually if I see SPY falling, I'll look at like AMD or Apple or how he said Tesla.
Yeah.
So then my play was based off of the 15-minute chart. I was looking at the first candle, the low 67.80. So then once that kind of like showed the once it showed me it was obviously gonna drop below it, I kind of just took a short position and then just wrote it down. But I'll send the 1 minute chart too. And then this was my only play too, basically. But I usually I try doing shorts only when it's like this setup, which is I just call it like the 15-minute orb or the low orb break. And then I usually just short it, and then I'll look for a like right there the whole dollar was 68. So if it would have broke above 68 and showed me some kind of support, I probably would have covered since it was yesterday's high of day also or close. So that's what my risk was. But I basically just played that on the way down, riding the.
Like, even when you broke that whole dollar right here in that orb level,
Hmm.
like right here, I'm gonna try to zoom in on it. Right here,
Yeah.
you could see that we started to confirm this area as resistance, and like you just got the follow through. And I'm sure the volume matches up right here. Yeah, so you got a little buying pressure, and then way were selling, and I brought it down. Yeah, no, that's a good trade, man. Good execution as well. You waited for it. You didn't, force it, and you made some money on it. Good job, man.
Yeah, thank you. It's a little different. It's kind of going off of what JP said. I'm not sure if I got it off of Stockbeat or Qualamagi. I don't know if you guys know him on Twitter also. But I'm pretty sure it was from one of them because they usually play. They're big orb players too
Yeah,
on regular like large caps, I guess. Same thing with like Ariel. I noticed he's a big fan of them. But yeah, that was my only play today.
yeah, that's really clean, man. Great job on that one. You didn't force
Thank you.
anything. The chart looked good. It literally screamed short me right here on this bear flag.
Yeah, the only thing I would like just probably I have to get more confident in adding size maybe on the way down, but I'm still just focused on execution.
Definitely, yeah. A lot of traders focus on, oh, I need to take this much size now, and their execution is shit. And so, I
Yeah.
think you did a good job. Like, in my opinion, like one of the things I honestly struggle with is taking on more size, and that's something that you get better at when you become a more developed trader. But like, yeah, I mean, your goal right now, in my opinion, is not to be focused on the money, but to be focused on the execution and on the setups. Because if you can't execute on the setups and you're losing continuously, then what's gonna happen when you size up? You're just gonna lose even more. So yeah, definitely be patient with it. Obviously, size up slowly on a setup that you're really confident in. But overall, this was a great trade, man. Good job.
Yeah, thank you. And I look at SPY for the follow through because I guess it's kind of the
Yeah,
main or to look at correlation, I guess.
yeah,
But I noticed that SPY just kept on making new lows, just kind of the same thing.
yeah. I see SPY right here. Like right when this one was coming down, you could see this one came down. SPY also came down. Kind of put in a bear flag. SPY put in a bear flag, and then kind of almost looked like the same chart, honestly. You had a nice
Yeah,
follow through move down. So no, that was very played. That was played very well, and the fact that you actually use SPY like as a guide, like a lot of people won't do that, and the fact that you did that it shows a lot, man. Good job.
thank you. Appreciate that.
Of course. Let's get some more voices on here. Come on, guys, don't be shy. We're all in this together. No one? Any thoughts? Any names that you were gonna play but didn't play?
Hey, Sela, just your trade was good too. I appreciate you going through yours. It
Oh, of
was nice
course,
to see your setup.
of course. Yeah, it was clean, man. I was pretty confident in it. We had a nice, like I said, we broke this downtrend on the 1 minute, and like let me go back to it. I was really
How
like
did you pick
honestly,
that one up? Because it was in the pre-market scan
yeah, yeah. So basically, like
in the
normally what I do in the
gappers.
morning is I'll get on Weeble. Like honestly, I have trade ideas, but like I don't
Yeah.
use it for the pre-market. I literally only use
Okay.
it for intraday, and then like on Weeble I'll go to pre-market and I'll look at the top gainers because it's so easy. You have top gainers, you have the news tab right there, and yeah. So I caught this one off that. It started running. I know Mikey mentioned a 5 minute flag on it into the open, but what I was
Yes.
really looking at was the 1 minute because going into the open you don't really want to just keep it on a 5 minute because the candle is like you really want to see what's going on. You want to see the support levels hold. At least for me, it gives me a little more confidence. But
Yeah.
like yeah, like I said, man, we had this little downtrend. We broke. We held on lower volume, and then buyers just stepped in and ramped us up. So I believe I played this opening drive like really really well.
Yeah. I was gonna mention. I think you said was it FIFE? What was the one you did?
FFIE.
Is that the one you did today? There was another one you looked at
Yeah,
today.
so FFIE, I took a little L on it. I took some with Mikey, and we just couldn't break over this 108 level. And what I actually did on this one is, so I should have waited for a better entry. Like I should have waited for a pullback into 104s, 105s. But I did get filled at I believe 106, 107. Then we did have this pop up to like 108, 109 area. And what I actually did over here was because I didn't really have like the most confidence in it because every time we come up to this 108 area, 109 area, we just kept getting slammed down. So something I did
Yeah.
when we came up to 108, I actually scaled some of my position off, And I'm glad I did because I ended up taking
Yeah,
the L on the remaining piece and like look at this follow through move, you know. And
yeah.
so
What
I'm
was the
glad.
one you said that broke the downtrend break? Not the first one you did, but there was another one you looked at today.
Um,
You remember that one? Was it this one?
I believe LVT. So I played LVTX on a little scalp. ADTX was the one that I played the little
Right.
downtrend
It
break
wasn't
on.
that one. It was another one you did.
I played F. Oh yeah, yeah. It was FFIE. I was showing you guys this screenshot right over here. Where
Yeah.
is it? Winners. This one right here. Yeah, this was actually FFIE. This was the setup that I was looking at, and
Okay.
we broke downtrend. You know, we held. We're holding our EMA 8 on the 5 minute, and it just didn't work out. We just couldn't get over this 108, 109 area.
Right. Well, what I wanted to ask you about, maybe you got some feedback for this, is you mentioned earlier about some of the if they make a 45-degree up, they're going to make a parabolic move down as well, right?
Definitely, yeah.
So, so what I was kind of thinking about this one was maybe the downtrend break, the slope was wrong. Does that make sense? Like it was too steep. Does that make sense? Like your
Possibly.
screenshot you just had?
Yeah, let me get it back up. That way we could focus on this specific screenshot. Yeah, I mean,
Like maybe there wasn't enough time, is what I'm thinking to consolidate. I don't know. I'm just guessing at it. I'm
no,
just
I see
looking
what
at
you mean.
those things.
Like we did have this sharp rise up. You know, there's probably high volume on it, and then the pullback. Like, let me look at this chart, see it actually like what happened exactly. Um, oh, wrong chart. So yeah, like right here we came up looking at the volume. Yeah, so like you can look at the volume right away. Like people were selling into it, but there was I believe it was Mikey who called out the 5 minute flag on it right over here. And you know, we
Right.
did have this, 5 minute consolidation. So like we were kind of holding these levels. We were over the whole $1 level, but there just wasn't enough buyers. Like I said, every
Yeah.
time we came up here, it's stuff. So this was more of like opening, like kind of opening drive, and then we were looking for that follow through. But yeah,
Yeah.
this one didn't give us follow through.
Yeah. I usually notice that the longer the consolidation, you probably know more about this than I do, but the longer the consolidation, the when it breaks the trend, it tends to break it. It tends to break it. It doesn't collapse as quickly.
Definitely,
You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like
yeah,
so,
definitely.
if we were uptrending, it consolidates in the lower range for a while, rounds out the bottom, and then it goes up for maybe a couple hours or whatever.
Yeah, like
You know,
this.
does that make sense? Like we have a rounded bottom, it's kind of like a little cup and handle, in other words.
Yeah, no, I get exactly what you mean. Yeah, like if I seen this one, come back up and then give a light pullback, and yeah, but
Yeah,
that'd just be like from my point of view. I don't know how Mikey was looking at it, but from my point of view, like, all right, we got the
so,
move up, we got the little leg down. Now let's
yeah,
see some consolidation and let's see another leg up. But yeah, I should have waited. I should like looking at it now, like noticing this 108, 109 area. I should have waited for either a pullback, closer to $1, so my risk would have been less, and I should have either waited for like a break above these levels to see how we react. Because I'm sure if we broke above, I'm sure it would have got stuffed really, really quickly. So
yeah,
one thing I should have done was, waited for a 110, 109 break, look for it to consolidate for a second over there, and then give us that next leg up. Obviously, that didn't happen, and I'm glad I got a little piece off, but overall it was a little red trade.
yeah. Well, I think Mikey went over it before. Sometimes it's the market, right? The setup was
Exactly.
there. You can't shy away from it because it all the stars were aligned for that one, right? It's just the
Exactly.
market overall.
Great
So you
point.
did
Great
well, I
point.
think.
Yeah, like I said earlier, FFIE is not going to give you follow through. You go to ADTX, it didn't give you much
Yeah.
follow through. LVTX, it didn't give you much follow through. So like when day traders see this, like, all right, we're popping up and we're slamming down, the market's just not giving follow through. So from like seeing that, you got to switch your mindset. All right, it's time to get into a scalp mindset, and that is something that I would say I did fail to realize because you know, or I'm sorry, looking at ADTX again, like we were so whipsaw. We weren't just
Yeah,
move up,
exactly.
pull back light, move up higher. It was like pull up, give it all back, pull up a little higher, give everything back, and then like this is shitty price action. This is not like
Yeah,
the greatest price action. So I'm glad I was able to get out of this one, green on the day. But like I said, FFIE, the setup was there and just didn't work. Like you said, you can't shy away from something because, if you shy away from it today, you might get that same setup tomorrow, and that same setup tomorrow might, put in a 20% leg or something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, definitely, man.
Good. Good. Thanks. Thanks again.
Of course. Uh, Anyone else want to like share their screen or go over any trades they had? Going once, going twice.
You got any thoughts on SAVA?
Saba, Bitcoin name, right?
What's that?
This one's a Bitcoin name, right? Usually moves with Saba Mara, if I'm not mistaken.
Sava's healthcare.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking about Mara then.
Yeah.
What were you?
Yeah.
Did you play this one today?
This is who me. I did a little in the morning when it was running. But I'm just trying to get an idea of I'm looking at the daily.
Yeah.
Seems like it's going to continue, but I just kind of wanted to get your thoughts on it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, looking at the daily, we're definitely coming up to some heavy resistance areas. Obviously, if you, I'm sure you look left, like got rejected off this area, got rejected off this area, but we're still kind of holding up. Like looking at this one, let me see on a 60 minute. Kind of got a flag trying to go on the 60 minute, But overall for this one, I'd say, you need to continue to hold that 44.50 area. And you need that break over 46.20. You need to hold over that level to possibly come up and test this like 47 area over here, possibly 46.80s. Start testing these upper wicks here. The move
Yeah.
today was really on like there was some good volume coming in the morning, but like so you see the move that we had right here. Like look at this volume, really high volume, and then you can see the move that we had today is it's not really a lot of volume compared to that day. So
Yeah.
I would look for it to continue to hold 44.50 area, and then look for that break above 46 area. See if you can start extending and testing these upper wicks. But like because we have these wicks here already, I would expect a lot of selling pressure up here. And like you could see right here when we came up here, sellers brought it down. We tried again, sellers brought it down. So that's something I would be wary of. Um,
Yeah. 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 I mean, it seemed like it's kind of been selling off the past day and a half, but then around 9, I guess, Mountain Time. I noticed that it was kind of switching to an uptrend.
yeah,
That's when I
definitely.
took an entry, but I guess it still seems like it's going in that direction.
Yeah,
But
definitely. It's definitely holding up, but like normally when I see a stock holding up like this, you'll probably get that gap down in the morning, and then either you'll
yeah,
recover in pre-market, and then you'll make new highs and you'll continue to extend. But like, does this one have a like a catalyst or anything coming up or anything like that?
uh, I may have had news a couple days ago, but I'm not exactly sure.
Guys, Sava has just got insider buying quite a bit. The
Oh,
CEO is
okay, I
buying a
see.
lot.
Probably some
Oh, is that
liquidity
what?
behind it. Yeah, 'cause I see you had this
Well, one of the
big.
reasons, and I think it's an Alzheimer's drug here too. So actually, let's just check here.
Yeah, I see you had this big move down, so you're probably gonna get that dead cat bounce into this level up here. But yeah, more like for me, it's more of like strictly technicals, like off momentum and volume. So like looking at this, like I give you my opinion on it. We got to continue to hold this 44.50 area, but kind of flagging here. Like I don't know if you guys can kind of see that.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah, kind of trying to put in a flag. So yeah, like if we can continue to respect that 44.50 area, like this thing can possibly come up and try to test highs if we can get some more volume.
I think it's gonna go with Spy. Really, I think that's
Possibly, yeah, very, very,
Spy crap.
very
This
possible.
one. Yeah.
You can see right here on this day, the volume was crazy high, and like we're making this move higher over here on like a way lower volume. So it's like it's kind of scaring me. Like, all right, we needed this much volume to make this move. Now we're getting this much volume, and we're kind of putting in a move relative to this one. Like it's kind of scary. But
Yeah.
the market works in mysterious ways. We could be saying all this for all we know. Tomorrow, this thing will be at $100.
That's right.
It's happened before.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I don't doubt it, man.
Cool. Thank you for
Of course,
running
man. Of
through that.
course.
What would you think of Sella Beat today? Like Beat just kind of went sideways for a while, and then of
Oh
course
yeah,
had the big.
I seen this one. When I actually came back to my desk. I seen this one, and I honestly didn't even touch it. Um,
Yeah,
like this consolidation over here didn't really interest me because there was no buying and like no selling.
yeah,
Then all of a sudden, someone just slapped it and woke up the momentum in it. But like, this is actually a perfect example. Remember earlier how I was saying things that go up
yeah,
45 degrees? This is perfect. It went up way more than 45 degrees. This was freaking straight up and right away just gave back all of its gains. You could see the volume
yeah,
was like crazy on the selling side. But yeah, I didn't touch this one at all. I did see it later in the day. I believe it was Coops that was like beat. Holy shit! And I did flip the chart on. And I was like, holy crap! Like if you were in this, congrats. But like this is. I believe that this one caught everyone by surprise, and everyone that did try
yeah,
to play this, setup over here, they got bagged. They for sure they stopped out at a loss unless they were smart enough to understand like, hey, we made this big move up. It's not gonna last. Let me get the hell out while I'm green on the name and end my day on a happy note. But
yeah.
anyone that held looking for the moon or whatever, like shit, you can kind of tell what happened.
Yeah, I noticed a couple times on your chart you're throwing it showing the 3 minutes. Is that your go-to 3 minute
Yeah,
time
so I,
frame?
I actually use so normally on my trade ideas I'll have the 3 minute going, then I'll have a 10 minute going. Like 10 minute is my bread and butter. I don't know why, but like 10 minute levels to me are so clear and like you could
Yeah,
just see everything so clearly. Like going back to ADTX, like this pivot hold area over here on the 10 minute is just so clean. And then I have another 3 minute, but normally this will be the. I'm sorry. Normally this one will be the daily. So I kind of have them stacked like one right here, one below it, and then this one would be like minimized way smaller, obviously, and it'd be on the side.
yeah,
But yeah, those are my go-to setups. Is usually the 3 minute, 5 minute, and then daily, obviously to see like pivots and levels and
yeah.
etc.
So is your entry, your execution based on the 3 minute, or do you drill down to the 1 minute
It
for
depends.
entry?
So it honestly depends. So like for something like ADTX, like normally when the market opens, I'm on the 1 minute, and I'm
Yeah,
on the 1 minute because
same.
like a 10 minute candle to me is like you can't really see what's going on a
Yeah,
daily
exactly.
chart like
I
this.
agree.
So I'll go on a 1 minute, and then if I see something on the 1 minute, I'll look for to confirm on the 1 minute, and then something I'll actually do is I'll go from 1 minute to 3 minute. Okay, we're holding our 320 area, whatever. Are we starting to do that on the 3 minute? Is the 3 minute putting in the same volume that I want to see? Is it looking good? And then from there, I'll look for it to transfer over onto either the 10 minute or the 5 minute. But something I like to do on the 10 minute, this is where I find the best dips. So when I was looking
Yeah,
at ADTX, um, where's the screenshot? Right over here. This was actually a 10-minute chart. So I seen we had this pivot down here. We came down on the 10 minute. We started consolidating, and I got long at 320, and I was risking off the lows. And the risk to reward really wasn't the greatest, but it did work out.
uh-huh.
I was able to get out at 328. But like for dip entries, 10 minute is my favorite.
Okay. So, are you using the EMAs at all for that? Like the
Yeah.
ADT?
So right now, I literally just reset my trade ideas today, so I don't have the proper EMAs. But right here on my 10 minute, you could see I use the
So
EMA
what?
8, 13, and 21.
Sorry, 8, 13, and 21?
Correct.
Okay.
And I'll try to find like I'm trying to think if there was a name like last week that gave really good follow through. I believe it was LITM. So if you see LITM, this is like one of my secrets. Well, not really a secret because you guys know it now, but this is something that really helps me stay in the trade. So it kind of works like the Ripster clouds, except
Yeah,
there's no filling
yeah, yeah,
area.
yeah.
But like if you look, okay, we're consolidating by our EMAs. We break over it, we pull in, we hold our EMAs. Notice how the EMAs are literally riding the trend higher.
Right.
And then obviously, you know, you get extended away from it, you start peeling your profits off. And then it's really clean for this one reason. So, you know, you break below it and then you can't break above it. It's going to tell you like, all right, look what happened after. So we, you know, we rode it up, we held over them, you know, we made that move up that we wanted. And then when we broke over them and started finding resistance at our 8, 13, and 21, you see the market slowly sold off. And look how
Yeah.
we're just riding it down.
The opposite, yeah. Under, yeah.
And now we're like trying to consolidate and get over it. So like, I don't know, maybe we could see LITM make a tiny move tomorrow. We'll have to wait and see, but that's like something that really helps me stay in the trades.
Yeah. So I remember yesterday, Mikey was saying on the 1 minute it's the 20 EMA, but on the 5 minute it's the 8 EMA, right?
Correct. Yeah.
So which one are you using for the 3 minute?
So the 3 minute, I literally run the same setups. So
Okay.
3 minute, I'll have 8, 13, 21. 5 minute,
Okay.
8, 13, 21, and you know so on. And then the daily, I'll
Gotcha.
have the moving average 50, 100, 150, and 200. A lot of people don't
Okay.
use the 150, but I do.
Yeah. Yeah. Perfect. Oh, that's great. That's very helpful. Thank you.
Definitely,
So
man.
that was for the 5, you said? The
Yeah, so
9.
sorry, what was it? The one that Mikey was talking about?
Well,
Yeah.
you were saying
The 8 EMA, right? On the 5 minute
yeah.
it's 8 EMA. 8 EMA.
Yeah, so Mikey said that the 1 minute 20 EMA is equivalent to the 5 minute, I believe it was
Right.
8 EMA or 9
Right.
EMA.
Yes, he said the 5 minute is equal to on 1 minute 20 EMA is equal to the 5 minute 8 EMA.
Yep, that is what he said, correct.
So you prefer the 8, 13, 21 over the because I've just been using the 9 and 20 primarily, but
Yeah, so for me, like this is just what I've tried so many different EMAs. Like I used to be just EMA 9 and VWAP, and like for me, this is what helps me best. This is what helps me, you know, find the good dip entry. Like look, every time we dipped into our EMAs, would have provided a perfect entry to get long on the trend. So that's just something that helps me. Like I know Mikey has his own style and the way he uses his EMAs, but for me, this is just what works best. So I just stick with this.
nice.
I would like if you want to like really see which one would work better for you, plug them both in. Like have one chart, you know, on a 1 minute and use whatever you know ones you want. Then have another chart on the same time frame using whatever other ones you want, and then kind of look at both and be like, okay, I think this one is more accurate, or I think this one will provide me a better entry. And you know, over time, you'll start to realize, okay, I like this one more than I like this one, or I don't like this one and I like this one better. You know?
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Yeah, it's all back testing. Like a lot of people, they'll find a strategy, they'll play it for one day, the strategy doesn't work. They'll be like, oh, this is the worst strategy. I need to find a new one. Like, motherfucker, it's only been one day. You
Yeah,
know?
exactly. Okay, guys. Thanks again. I gotta run. I gotta pick up my son from school soon.
Definitely, man. Enjoy that.
See you tomorrow.
Yup, you as
All
well.
right, later.
Bye, guys.
If anyone else doesn't have anything, I think we'll start wrapping it up. Any other questions or like any charts anyone wants to go over? Anything? Going once, going twice. Alrighty, guys. Great session. I hope to do this again with all of you. Thanks for coming.
Thank you. I appreciate your
No problem,
time.
man. No problem. We'll do it
Later,
again.
guys. See y'all tomorrow.
Yup, we'll do it again
All right.
tomorrow, hopefully. If the market is hot, you know, we'll try to get more people in here. But alrighty, everyone, enjoy your day and stay safe. Take care.
You too. Bye.